Very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of the show. Promises to be exciting as always. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, there's a lot to give you on the show tonight. Let's go straight into all that we have lined up for your viewing pleasure on the show tonight. We will be looking at promise made, promise kept, talking about the federal government, the promise made to the 1994 Super Eagles squad. We will also be taking a look at the friendly that is currently going on between Super Falcons and, of course, their counterparts from Canada. All of that, all for you. We'll preview the Nigeria Professional Football League, Match Day 22, all for you. And we will be taking a look at the Nigerian National League and also travel abroad to look at what's happening in the English Premier League as we await what many have called the biggest game in the past decades. That's going to be Manchester City and Liverpool. We'll look at that as well as we go on the show. We'll listen to some of the protagonists, the coaches that will be in the dugout when those matches will be played. So that's that for you. All right, we'll also do our best to give you a slice of Formula One. All right, so that's the outlook of the show tonight. Let me quickly, while I wait my partner Austin Okonakman to join in, let me quickly introduce my partner in the Lagos studio. It's been a while. Ikenna Okechukwu joins us. Ikenna, greetings to you. Thanks for finding our time to be with us on the show.
Apologies for taking a long while to reappear on set. Happy to be here always. I've been following what's been happening, and we will discuss everything because it's going to be a very loaded weekend.
All right. We'll discuss all the things happening in your fast-paced and money-spinning world of sports. Where do we start tonight? We start with the federal government redeeming the promise made 28 years ago. Members of the victorious Super Eagles squad of 1994, of course, getting what was promised to them by the administration at that time. So that's what we'll be looking at. And before we get straight to that, my colleague Austin Okonakman is ready now. So let's just get straight into it. Austin, it's good to be with you again on the show tonight.
Greetings to you, Yemi, and of course to our viewers joining us from different parts of the world. Always a delight to be on the show to talk sports. And I see we're starting on a beautiful note. The federal government redeeming their pledge to the class of 94. Look, when you talk about the class of 94 with Nigerian football, you're talking about something iconic. Those guys did what is arguably the best experience for football in the country. So it's good to see that the federal government are keeping to their promise. Better late than never.
Yeah, that's what it is. Let's go to that event today. Of course, some of them were around. We know a couple of them are not around with us anymore. But it is good that some of their representatives were on hand to receive that promise. Let's just let you see pictures from that event. Of course, representing the federal government was the Minister of... okay, we'll get that to you even as we go on the show. You will be able to see what transpired today and also some remarks from those who were there. We'll get back to that in a bit. But let me just quickly get your thoughts. You've seen the pictures. You've seen everything. Yeah. Some comments made by Cerezo himself. He was there. Yeah. Was captain on the field, but vice captain of the squad.
Keshi was the captain of the team. Stephen Keshi. So, like Austin said, it's better late than never. But it took a long time. So... kudos to this present administration for what they have done. At least they fulfilled their promise. And not just the players, even the coaches. Westhoff has gotten his. Buffejo also received his. So it's wonderful. At least what we say in the national anthem, the levels of our heroes past should not be in vain. So promise was made to them in '94 when they won the Nations Cup and also did very well in US. So it's very heartwarming to see them. And what I like is about it is that they chose the place, the cities they want to reside, the cities they want those houses to be. Some of them got it in Imo State, some of them got it in Lagos, some of them got it in Abuja. So it's beautiful. I worked with Mutiu Adepoju when we were in La Liga. So I knew when he was telling me about, it was looking like under promise from the federal government. So when he was going about it, it's like this thing is going to be fulfilled with this administration, and lo and behold, it has come to pass. So it's very, very wonderful. It's good to see. At least it will encourage the other ones coming behind that if they do well for Nigeria and a promise has been made to them, they can be rewarded as well.
And of course, the Minister of Works and Housing also talking about this government clearing all obstacles, clearing all loopholes, doing everything by themselves to ensure that this day came to pass. And once this event took place, there wasn't going to be any other wait.
Yeah.
Once this event took place, they were going to have everything they needed.
You have your key. They've cleared all doubts.
Everything.
It's amazing.
Pictures from that event. Let's allow you to enjoy some moments from the day. You could already see some members of that victorious 1994 African Cup of Nations squad that represented the Super Eagles squad that represented the nation in Tunisia. So let's see if we can listen to. We'll probably do that later, but pictures right there. You can see Victor Ndusai Kweba right there, and the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, as well.
The late players, Abonevare, Stephen Keshi, Uche Okafor, wherever they are, they will be proud. Or what they weren't alive.
Thompson Olia as well.
Thompson Olia, exactly. Thompson Olia as well. So at least the ones they left behind can enjoy some of this, and that is what they have been that's what they are working out for. So it's beautiful to see. At least they have been rewarded. So going forward, if you play for Nigeria, government makes promise. It might not happen immediately, but somewhere along the line, it might get fulfilled.
Yeah, that's good. Let's allow Austin to say something. I mean, this is heartwarming. We expected to see this a long time ago, but now we're here, and you can see these players. I'm so happy for them. For the ones that are not around, it's sad, but I'm very sure their relatives, family members, and loved ones could point to this gift and say, yes, I told you my father represented Nigeria. He was loved and he was rewarded for sacrificing for Nigeria.
True. I mean, it is sweet to make a promise and sweeter to fulfill it. And I'm sure that's how Babatunde Raji Fashola is feeling, that this is happening in their time. Remember, also in Lagos, I think Patrick Pascal was also given a house that was promised to him. So this administration is scoring some vital points as regards, fulfilling promises. There's nothing like, doing the things you say. Your word should be your bond. So the federal government giving this to the class of 1994 is really commendable. What a story the class of 1994 gave to football in the country. And it would be so heartbroken for us to talk about these guys and everything that they did during their time, and then you remember that the promise made to them is not fulfilled. It won't be a sweet story. So it's good to see that they're being given what was promised to them. The class of 94, we will never forget how they went to Tunisia, won the AFCON, qualified for Nigeria's first World Cup at USA 1994, went on to play beautiful football. At about that time, they were ranked in the top 5 in the world. Look, we can go on and say beautiful things about the class of 1994. But if this promise was not fulfilled and then a majority of the class, leave this world, then it would have been a very sad story. So once again, it's good that we're saying this. Let it not just be with the class of 94, federal government, Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, NFF, in any other class that we have made promises to. Let's ensure that we fulfill it. That's just the bare minimum we can do to encourage the younger folks who are coming to participate in sports in Nigeria.
Bring in Alfred before we listen to the players, share their thoughts with us on a day some thought will never come, but it has come. Alfred Okoligwe, thanks for joining us on the show tonight. This is the kind of day that puts the smiles on the faces of many sports-loving Nigerians as we remember that 1994 squad, the joy they brought to our hearts and all that they did to ensure that we can remember the Nations Cup in 94, hosted by Tunisia, and smile. And now, better late than never, they're being rewarded.
Well, you can say better late than never, but it's just like this. Sometimes you want to ask yourself, if these have been allowed to stay for this long, this is about 28 years after. We can eulogize the government for what they've done, but I think everybody involved on the side of, because the government is concerned, everybody is involved in that period, as that made the expense to this period should just bow their heads in shame, because the students have been 28 years after. What's the value of that time? How long are these guys going to live for? That you talk about this. Now, football is very popular. Take nothing away from the class of '94. They don't do well. Indeed, players from that class kind of have dominated our football for a long time. But are they the only sets that have done something out of the ordinary for the rest of us? We know a certain coach is Williams, and what happens with players holding everybody to ransom in South Africa. The man has been crying for how many years now? Tomorrow, maybe something happens. And he's still crying to date. He's not been paid his dues. And what is that? We will know up to when he passed on. All of those things still linger. Yes, we can say class of '94. We've fulfilled all of that. But are they still the only people being owned by the Nigerian Football Federation, or indeed the Nigerian government? So I think it's a call to duty for everybody involved. Indeed, the secretaries of the associations involved, or the sports involved, to make it public. Come out with these names. Now that they are rewarding Mr. A, B, C, or D. What is good for the geese for it should be found to be good for the dog and duckling. So I mean, we have to unearth this here. I think that's the responsibility as journalists that we have. I bring it out there. They might have been forgotten. Some of them will be costing us in their grave. Some of them in their old age will be costing everybody. They say Nigeria is not worth dying for. I mean, football is the most popular sport, and that's why so much attention is paid to that. But yeah, I know that there are others who are still waiting for the promises made them to be fulfilled.
All right. Just like Alfred said, it's an opportunity to make a passionate appeal to the government. You've done this. You can also look into the books, look into the record books, and see those who have been promised things and try to redeem those promises made by the federal government. It doesn't matter who is there. Let's go on now and listen to, of course, the players that were at the event, and of course, the Minister of Works and Housing. The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, of course, talk about what happened today, and we'll take it up from there.
Now, we anticipated that it was possible to give you allocation letters, and then you are chasing your CFO, or you are chasing your flat later, and then things drag again. So we decided that once we are here, we will solve all the problems, from allocation letter to CFO, and we decided that we will be handing over at the commissioning site so that there are no more gaps to fill. This promise is late enough, and we wanted to ensure that it does not delay any further. So unfortunately, you've heard that Emmanuel Aloyagu and Emmanuel Amunike have been given their own in Imo during the commission. So that's what we planned for you. But I think the Delta commissioning conflicted with when some of you were out. There were so many things going on, you couldn't attend. So in order that that is not delayed again, we've invited you here to come and collect your certificates so that you have your title and your keys will be presented to you when you go to the site. So that's the whole purpose of this. The others in Oyo and a few other states will go on as planned, and the beneficiaries will receive their flats, their title documents, and their keys on the site. If there is any that cannot happen as planned, again, we will find a convenient opportunity to quickly remedy it. Our intention is that this be done in as public an environment as possible, so that there are no more loopholes. Indeed, we found out that whilst we were collating the list, we missed out the name of Finidi George was not included. So we sent it to the president, and I'm sure that that will be remedied, and we will deal with it as well. So we just want to ensure that all of this is dealt with, and the promise, as late as it is finally redeemed.
All right. Of course, listening to the minister, of course, works on housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, ensuring that whatever bottlenecks, whatever loopholes, everything taken care of, so that the players will not have to queue again or go to one place. Just like Ikena said, once you get the key, all you have to do is open the door.
If you listen to the minister, you could tell that they did a lot of groundwork, to ensure that this works well. But again, some omissions here and there. Finidi George, a big member of that squad, you'll be wondering, how can you meet Finidi George, So, but we're glad that it will be rectified. We're glad that this is promise kept, and as I said earlier, and Alfred reiterated, let them do this for other classes, because that's when we will start getting those calls and complaints. Oh, are you trying to say the class of 94 did what nobody else has done for the country? But we just love the fact that this is happening. And as I said, it's better late than never. The reward system, works so well all over the world. And we can see that's why some of our athletes leave to go and run for Qatar or go to Bahrain. Some even go to some countries where you don't even get to hear about sports. So when we start saying things and start doing them, as now they've given them the lands, they've given houses, the things we've said about sports development, football development, policies that have been put in paper, let's start implementing. Let's see 360 degrees branding of sports in Nigeria, and then this reward system will be something that will be useful when you put everything together.
All right, and Austin, today I'm very sure this will explain to our viewers why Cerezo wasn't able. You said it on the show yesterday. Why Cerezo wasn't able to be present
be
for
on the show. Yeah. It's also going to be tougher to have him today again, because I'm sure his former colleagues are there with him now, so they might be doing a lot of hanging out, but he has given his word. We definitely will get Austin Eguavoen on this show, because it is important that the viewers get to hear from him. Football fans look. A lot of Nigerian football fans are hurting. If we bring up that Ghana-Nigeria talk now, Ikena and Alfred, we go all the way till the end of this show. They still talk about it, and people are trying to get some closure. So I believe that when we get Austin Eguavoen on the program, he'll be able to say one or two things about what happened right there at the qualifiers, and find a way that we can click for. That said, let's listen to some of the ex-internationals who are right there at that presentation in Abuja. I'm sure they're super excited. Let's listen to them.
Feel excited, feel fulfilled, feel energized as well. It's a big appreciation. I want to say a very big thank you to all of them that made sure this thing came to pass, because it has lingered for so long. So I feel very, very happy. No, I knew it would come one day, because it's documented, and document speaks volumes. And like you saw my remarks, my vote of thanks. I said a lot of administration has come and tried, but it never worked out. But this administration has come to make sure they fulfill the promise. But I knew it was still going to come, but just the time. That was the only thing, because I think a promise made by federal government is always, it holds water.
So we're grateful, and especially considering how many years it took for us to have the house. But we have to be grateful to the Buhari government for making it a reality, and thanks to the Honorable Minister of Housing, the former Governor of Lagos State. He's a very passionate sportsman. We know that. I know him very well. And we shouldn't forget the Minister of Sports, who were involved together with some of our colleagues, Alo Agu, pursuing this house. And eventually, it's a dream come true. And especially for our late teammates, at least the family can have something to celebrate. It's a special day, and sometimes they say it's never too late sometimes to get things happening. So it's a little bit of emotional day. So, and what can I say on behalf of some of my teammates who have not been able to be present here this morning in Abuja? We are very grateful. We are very thankful, and And this can be an inspiration to other young Nigerian footballers that if they do well, when government promise stuff like this, they will get it.
I'm very honored. Thank you to the Nigerian government for giving this to my father, to me, to the rest of the players. It's amazing, and so I'm glad to be here to accept on behalf of him.
To be honest, I felt demoralized, and I felt pain, internal pain. And it wasn't just for a moment, but for numbers of years.
Tony.
With hope.
Tony.
With hope. Every year that passes by, we keep looking up. And whenever there is a national engagement, each time there is a national engagement, there is this tendency of remembering that the nation promised, and up till the moment that national activity is taking place, you feel it that, oh my God. And when the news start writing about performances of the national team players, sometimes you get confused and you don't know what to really say. What was the result of the performances of the players, and why is it so? Could it be related to players knowing that, the players that were promised houses since 1994 have not gotten it? Am I the one who is going to kill myself for the nation and stuff like that? So the upcoming ones are seeing what is happening, and they see us lament. So, right now I'm before the camera, but if you get me out of the camera, you might be shocked to the volume of lamentation you will get from me or from any other person in a situation like this. So, to be honest, it wasn't an easy moment thinking about it at all.
Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. You're listening to ex-internationals Austin Eguavoen, Victor Ikpeba, Peter Rufai, and of course, the daughter of the late Uche Okafor. I want to say tonight that all of the class of 94 that have passed away, may their beautiful souls rest in peace. It's good that this is happening. It's good for our football. I love what Victor Ikpeba said about these inspiring young talents to, want to represent their country, knowing that one way or the other they will be rewarded. And I think that's a major lesson that we can take away from the federal government fulfilling their promise to the class of 1994.
It's laudable. I think we should applaud them for doing it. At least we others have fared, they have fulfilled, been able to fulfill that promise. But what we should do going forward is that it shouldn't take this long. It took 28 years. Is a very long time in our lives. So why the euphoria of winning that competition is on, you can as well reward them 2 or 3 years down the line. So we don't wait for this long, so that the guys that had it been that these houses were given to them maybe 2-3 years after they won this tournament. So all these people we lost could have enjoyed it and see the fruits of their labor. So commendable as it is, but as well we should also endeavor that we don't have these kind of things wait this long. So, and also, like Alfred pointed out, there are others, probably the class of 2013, and some other ones that have been promised a lot of things and that hasn't been fulfilled. We should also endeavor that we see that through. So it's good to hear from the guys. Like Rufai said, that behind the camera, if you hear his lamentation about things that are going on, you wouldn't be able to go home. But at least, we have succeeded in doing one thing. We will remember that they have their houses now. And for the young ones coming through, they will know that when they represent Nigeria and the promise is made, it can be fulfilled within a short period of time.
Nice. Yemi, I think we need to, drop this conversation and continue. Whenever we get updates as regards this, we will talk about it on the program. Let's remind our viewers once again that the Super Falcons will be busy. Call it tonight. Call it early morning, 2:30 Nigerian time. They will be taking on Canada. And we talked about it extensively last night on the show, that it's good for the development of the game. I think the game is live already. So there you have it. Nigeria taking on Canada. And Alfred, we said this is a good opportunity for Coach Randy Waldrum to have a look at this team again and find a way to, make them improve.
Well, you can say this will be the Super Falcons' biggest game yet. If you play the Olympics champions, that means you're playing a team that is world class, and we couldn't have asked for a better opposition for the Super Falcons. You know that this Super Falcons team is going through a rebirth. We've seen the selection of so many players, retired players born and bred abroad, making part of this Super Falcons team. And so, with their eyes fixed are doing well at the next African Women's Cup of Nations in Morocco, as the also is it's for the Falcons. Maybe the challenge has not been on the continent. We've completely dominated the continent for a long, long time. But I think the challenge is staying out there, proving our mettle, and being one of the highly ranked teams. And this could have come at a better time for the Super Falcons. So it's a good challenge for them. If they continue this way, hopefully testing their strength against the world's best, it will only make them better. That's the way I see it. And so this is a good step for the team.
Yeah, so that's it. We will continue to monitor that one and give you updates when it is done. Let me take it back to Lagos. Yeah, I'm sure Kena has got one or two things to say as regards this friendly match between Nigeria and Canada.
Yeah, I'm very sure he will. And, I don't know if you agree with me. The results doesn't really matter. The fact that, like Avril said, we get to play a team in the class of Canada. Although you could say 10 years ago, you probably wouldn't be talking about Canada the way we're talking about them now. Yeah. And it's a testimony to the fact that if we do things right, other people can be talking about us the way we're talking about Canada now.
Like what Alfred said, in Africa, I think we should be worried. Let's leave the friendly game against Canada for now. What the target for Nigeria is to qualify for the World Cup using the Nations Cup.
Håkon.
We don't have... We won the last one. We know how we did it. We just limped to the finishing line. Yes, we got the trophy. But the pendulum is shifting towards away from us. It's moving towards South Africa. And what Morocco is also doing in women's football. You saw the CAF Champions League. It's as if we didn't even participate at all. It was dominated by the Moroccans and South Africans. So... what this friendly match will do for us is to prepare our minds for what is to come. Even if we qualify for the World Cup, we're going to meet teams like Canada. There is France on the table. There is England. These teams, 15 years down the line, they couldn't even challenge us to a game. But this time, we're actually trying to play catch-up. So it's a good... one thing we are looking at is what is the formation? What ideas does the coach have on ground? What is he bringing to the table? So this is a world-class... it's like playing Brazil-Argentina in the senior game, or playing Germany in the senior game. So playing Olympic champions is commendable. And what we're looking at is how is the team going to play, or what are they playing? What is the formation the coach is bringing to the table? And how is he going to aid their preparation going into the Nations Cup? So the result wouldn't matter at all, but they shouldn't get beaten by a wide margin. Yeah. But if we were able to draw this game or lose by a lower margin, it will be nice. So we look out for the result, but at the same time, it is a preparatory game for the Nations Cup.
Yes, that's what it is, and I'm hoping all the reasons why we want to play this friendly will achieve some of those things. And, some of the vibes we're getting from ahead of a big game, some of the vibes we're getting from the senior women's national team are not some of the things you'd love to hear. Somebody being stripped of captain's armband and accusations flying around. You will think that it's only with the guys that you have this kind of issues, but with the ladies, well, a lot of rumors flying around, some unsubstantiated. But then again, even if it were rumors, you wouldn't love.
I don't think it was properly handled by the association. It wasn't properly handled. You don't do such things. Maybe I don't know, because the thing got out of online as a rumor.
Spilled over. So it wasn't properly handled. But at the same time, for the love of the game and for sacrificing for the nation, I think everyone should just down their distance and we are all going for a common goal. So whoever is the captain, there was a captain before the current one, and the current one was. So I think everybody should put down their swords
we are fighting for a common goal. What's the common goal? Qualifying for the World Cup. So I think who's captain doesn't really matter. It's how the team play. So I've seen for this particular set, I've seen like 4 or 5. I've seen Chikelu as the captain. I've seen Onome B. I've seen Opran Ozie, Asizat, back to Onome. So it has gone round. So everybody should do. It's not about it. It's how you are able to represent the country.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
All right, that's what should matter. All right, let's move on, guys, and talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League. And I'm so happy we have the two guys we have with us as we're about to talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League match day 22. Let's allow you see the fixtures. Then we allow the guys tell us what to look out for in and around the venues where those matches will be played. On your screen, you have it right there. Imba International against Enugu Rangers. Doesn't get bigger than this one. Lobby Stars taking on Kano Pillars. MFM FC will take on Dakada FC. Niger Tornadoes will take on Wiki Tourists. All of this match day 22 fixtures in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Sunshine Stars will take on Abia Warriors. Aqua United will take on Shooting Stars. Gombe United will take on Nassau United. Kwara United will take on Plateau United. These are some of the fixtures. We have some other. You have Heartland taking on Remo Stars, and you have Katsina United taking on Rivers United. Let me go to Alfred first before I come to Ikena. You've seen these 10 fixtures. If you were going to pick maybe 2 or 3, which ones will it be? If you the ones you think that we have implication on how the title race is going, the ones that probably might early days yet, but might probably nail the coffin of some other teams.
Well, for me, off the top of my head, Kwara United versus Plateau United. Kwara United know that the implication of not getting maximum results at home against Plateau United will mean they will drop points. If they drop points, they will lose ground. That third and fourth place in the log, it will cost them here if they don't pick points. And Plateau United themselves have shown that they're resilient over just yesterday. They got a win against Niger Tornadoes at home, albeit it's very, very late. It's 8 minutes and it keeps making a difference in that game, and it just tells you the pressure these guys are under, the first team on the log. Rivers United has shown they travel well. They've shown that they're almost invincible at home. But their next test is against Katsina United, one of not the better teams, but that trip to Katsina will test the team. Like I always maintain, that kind of distance, it depends on how you travel. If you travel well, it means the players are fresh for that game. At the Mohammed Ziko Stadium in Katsina, against Katsina United, they are looking for points. The new challenger is that Coach Abdallah joins them at the junction, the second stanza of the league, and so he's looking for points. The last time held Rangers, their last game was against Rangers in Oka. Held them very late. They conceded 1 goal in that game. Second half goal they conceded, and so they're looking stronger at home. It has to mean 2 tough games for the first 2 sides in the league. But for me, the biggest of the weekend is the Oriental Derby. It can't come bigger than what's it called? Enyimba International hosting Rangers International. For Enyimba, they are in all sorts of the kind of Enyimba team that we've seen this season is not the Enyimba team that you look at. Okay, if you look at the log between the first 4 positions in the league, at least they will be at this stage of the league they should be contesting for the title. But that loss in their last game against Rivers United was damaging. And what can you say of Enyimba? They start not the coach. They start interestingly the assistant coach and Kilebe. I asked, what is the influence of the assistant coach on the aspirations to get title? And since Kilebe is still left, Enyimba International has been fortunate. I don't think so. Rangers had an intimidating away record just before the start of the second stanza. They played 9 games on the road before the second stanza. Of those 9 games, they lost 1, and that's the Rivers United. They won 3 on the road, but their first game in the second stanza was against Lady Stars. They lost that game, and so I wait to see how Rangers travel in the second stanza of the best. That game is a game of pride. It's a game of prestige. It's a South East Derby. That game is a game that anybody in and around Southeast want to see. And what is there in that class is the bragging right to say I beat you or I didn't beat you. And two of the most successful teams are in the league in terms of titles, one going head to head. That for me is top of they might not be first and second on the log, but it can't come bigger than that when it comes to the contest in the league.
All right. Let me go to Alfred. I'm told we have to just be quick and wrap things up faster. Probably it's going to be your parting shot on the show. So take your pick, the games to look forward to.
Kwara United, Plateau United, Katsina United, Rivers United. I will leave Enyimba and Rangers for now. It's just a derby. But these two guys, Plateau United and Rangers, and Rivers, they have had a phenomenal season. So their season is like what we are seeing in EPL between Manchester City and Liverpool. So they have gone unbeaten. They have a well-balanced team, and they have two wonderful coaches, and they are doing well. So what we are looking at for is this league is a two-horse race as it stands at this point. So every weekend we go and check out their results and see who is going to, it's just 2 points separating them, who is going to maneuver the other as the week goes. So for Rangers, the rest are all fighting for the continental slot, the single continental slot for the Confederations Cup. So Rangers on 37 are meeting Enyimba. Enyimba is 8. They're not having a great season as we usually see Enyimba, but it can be a stepping stone for what is to come. Once they get this game done and dusted, they can start moving towards working their way towards the table. Winning the league, I doubt it, but getting a continental slot might be in their focus.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, unfortunately, that's the much we can take on the show tonight. We've been told that we have to rush out of the studio, but we still hope that you enjoyed everything that we put together tonight. But before we go, there's no way we can leave without talking about Manchester City and Liverpool. So, also, let me pass the baton to you. We'll do this fast. We're used to that. In a minute, Newcastle is playing. They're a goal up against Wolves. But Manchester City, Liverpool is what the sporting world is talking about. And for each one of us, let's just say what we think will happen. 15 seconds. Austin, you're up.
I think the better team will win definitely, but it is a game that will, do a lot of things to the league title to raise, and both sides on good momentum. I just hope that they give us beautiful football. I hope it won't be drab, and I pray the video assistant referee will behave.
Okay, Alfred, quick one. Manchester City, Liverpool, before we go.
For me, maybe for sentimental reasons, Man City, Pep Guardiola have shown that he is a top-notch manager. But Jurgen Klopp on his side has done wonderfully with Liverpool. So for sentimental reasons, I think Manchester City will come out top.
All right, sentimental reasons. All right, Ikena, as we go. Liverpool, yeah. Straight away, no explanation.
Diaz and Sané. Sané will score 2-1.
Okay. All right, that's how we wrap this up on the show. Let me thank Ikena for his time on the show today. It's much appreciated. Hopefully we'll do this again some other time.
I'll be regular.
All right. Alfred Okoligbe, want to thank you for your time on the show. We appreciate you. Hopefully we'll do this again some other time.
It's pleasure, man.
All right. I'm the only one who's not going to say what I think is going to happen. May the best side win. That's all I'm going to say. I want to thank you for allowing us into your living rooms today. It's a privilege we'll never take for granted. We'll be here again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
Until we come back in London, I'm Austin Okonakan saying, in everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.